Hey, what's up, it's Joe? Welcome to my 5-Minute Friday for December 29th. It's the last podcast of 2023, at least for me. So anyway, some things on my mind this week. It's always funny this time of year. You see predictions, pontifications of what's going to happen next year. And I think these are fun. They're fun to dive into. I think they're fun because it highlights the perspectives of the people who are giving the predictions, right? And so we'll take the data space, for example. I mean, there's lots of predictions, lots of extrapolations. And for the most part, what I find interesting about these viewpoints is they tend to fit the consensus narrative about where we are as an industry. So obviously, there's a lot of talk and a lot of predictions about, the impact that AI will have, on, I'd say, our industry and maybe the world at large. That's always interesting to see, but it's always done through the lens of if it's a vendor giving a prediction, obviously it's through, the lens of whatever that vendor's working on. If you're in, say data observability, then it's obviously, how AI is going to impact observability. And, if you're in, say, lake houses or orchestration or whatever, right? It's always that lens. So I always find it's very interesting how people, kind of have their own worldview. And the funny thing with predictions is I don't take them very seriously at all. I just think it's fun trivia. But if you're kind of zoom out, say 2022, right, at the beginning of that, if you were to make predictions, right, it probably would have involved say the modern data stack or data mesh or something like that. And I don't think anyone would have predicted, apart from people who worked at OpenAI or had knowledge of it. But ChatGPT came out in November of 2022, and then all of a sudden 2023, which I think, if you were to ask people at the beginning of 2022 what 2023 would look like, it'd be basically an extrapolation of those trends. I just talked about modern data stack, data mesh, and whatever other trends are happening at the time. And now all of a sudden, 2023, it's the year of AI and all this fun stuff. And so, I think it's fun to see. Like I said, I don't take predictions that seriously because humans are, I think, great at linearly extrapolating the present. We're terrible at seeing things out of left field. I think Nassim Taleb calls them black swans. It's there's a notion of gray swans, but the whole notion is it's the things that come out of left field that have the most impact on your field. It's very rarely the linear progression of trends and incremental innovation, right? And so there's something I always keep in mind is what's going to come out of left field, right? No, these are impossible to predict almost by default, right? So that's why I don't pay too much attention to predictions. And there's also obviously macroeconomic and geopolitical factors, right? Like, who the hell knows? You have a bunch of wars going on, and I think if I were to predict one thing, I would say that 2024 there will be more wars. There will be the elections coming up. Who knows what's going to go on with that? I can make a fairly, good and I would say pedestrian prediction that's going to be wild, right? But all these have an impact on things that happen in our industry too. So it's interesting because when you make predictions, you tend to view it through your own worldview and your own bubble. But there's a lot of things that happen outside of your bubble that end up impacting your bubble to a very big degree. And so who knows? It's probably a safe prediction to say that AI will do something. I have no idea what that is, and I have no idea what the big launch or reveal or innovation is going to be in that space next year. I don't think anybody knows for certain, and so all this is to say that when you see predictions, just take them with a grain of salt. They're fun trivia. It's fun for people to sort of get the end of your blog posts up and and so forth, and it's fun to interact with, but just know that nobody can predict what's going to happen. And if anyone does, just politely walk the other way real quickly because they're full of shit. So, what am I up to for 2024? I'm a weird dude. I don't really set New Year's resolutions. I do have goals, but I don't really see those as the same thing as these resolutions. Like, I'm gonna get in shape this year or something like that. I think it's really fuzzy, those types of resolutions. I think everyone could get in better shape. Everyone could, make more money, be more attractive, and have better friends and a better life. But to me, it's about what are the habits that are going to get you there. What are you doing day in and day out, no matter how small, that's going to push you in the right direction. And so to me, those are the kinds of things that I focus on, are just what are my habits? What are the things that are serving me? What are the things that aren't serving me? Right. And just I think at the end of the year, I take more of a reflection on those kind of things. Just, take stock of, what's working, what's not working, and, make a, trying to orient your habits towards the things that are working. Right. So that's how I view, New Year's resolutions. I don't believe in them, because I think if you set yourself up for failure, right? It's just more about just putting in the work every day, to get there. It's sort of like if you were, training to, back squat like 500 pounds or 495, if you want to put 5 plates in each. If you're to say 495 is your goal for a back squat. I mean, and say your max right now is 225. I mean, it's setting a resolution of, having a pretty significant leap in your back squat. That's admirable. But you got to get the habits every day to get there, right? You're going to have to be lifting. You have to be doing, a lot of core squat work, some accessory work, and just putting in the days, and that's all there is to it. It's just the hard work. That's all that it is. There's no secret, but it's just that hard. Nobody wants to put in the hard work. I would say very few. Everyone wants a quick win, and it's not how it works. At least in my life, everything I've done is the amount of just grinding it out every day, and just making, almost imperceptible progress every day. But over time, that builds, and that's at least been the key to how I've been successful in things, and also learned along the way things that I didn't want to do and things that weren't serving me. So that's how I view the new year. And for me, what's coming up in the next year? Well, I kind of alluded to this in the last podcast. Got a new company I'm going to be announcing shortly. I just need to get a few things in place before I do that. But I'm really excited about this new company and the mission that this company will have. Obviously got a new book that's related to this company, if you haven't figured that out. Launched a new Substack, practical data modeling, so go check that out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Get that going. And I think, it's taking a lot of different approaches with stuff. With book writing, I feel like, book publishing is a bit of an antiquated model right now, and I think that it needs to be shaken up. And so you'll start seeing more about that. What else have I been doing? Working on a data engineering specialization for deep learning AI, which I'm really, really excited about. I think it's just going to be I was actually working on it today, and it's funny, I just talking to the guy I'm working with over there. It definitely feels like a different course. Like, it just feels really cool to have this approach to a course. You'll be learning more about that, but I'm just very, very excited about all the projects I'm working on. And again, for me personally, I'm really just grateful that, to have you all, just a part of, my journey and, success. And I definitely humbled and very grateful, for each and every one of you out there. It's awesome. And I feel like things are just getting started. Right. So I feel like if 2023 was awesome, this year's going to be, or next year's going to be even better, and keep building on success. And that's ultimately what life's hopefully about, is just, keep moving forward, keep doing awesome stuff, build up the people around you, and, just be positive and do cool stuff for others. And that's the way I approach, life and things I work on. So again, very thankful to every one of you. And I hope you have a great end to 2023 and a wonderful 2024. So happy New Year, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.